All right, so just before we get started, so that people won't have to waste their time or feel like they're wasting this time, this is just a black screen video of me just talking. It's nothing exciting. It's nothing to do with violence or white people. It's nothing to do with, in a sense, the system or victim blaming or anything like that. So if that's in a sense some of the stuff that you're looking for, I have a lot of other videos that basically touch on those topics. Like I said, this is vastly different. So I'm just giving you this time so that you don't have to waste your time, right? Or so that, other people feel in a sense. So let's get started. All right. So this is another black screen video, right? So my question to the few that'll actually listen to this is that what are you actually trying to do with your life? Who are you working for? What exactly are you working towards? What do you specifically want to build? What is the longevity, of that plan that you want to enact? Where do you see yourself 5 to 10 to 15 years from now? Because the issue with a lot of things is that a lot of people just want to focus on the now versus focusing on, you know, the later. And I'm not talking about, a few days to like a week. I'm talking about months down the road. I'm talking about years down the road. I'm talking about a decade, because the system that we're in has pretty much trained us to look for a day to day, right? Because that's how we survive. We're, surviving day to day by the money that we have, by the paycheck, by the food that we have. And, we got this ridiculous amount of bills that, always comes in and takes money directly from our pockets or our bank account or, what have you. The main thing that I would say to try to alleviate some of that pressure is to manage your funds differently, right? In order to get to that longevity point, in order to get to that start of where you want to be, you should start managing your money properly now. The little bit that you have, start managing that money now. So if, you know, you got a phone bill that's, about $30, pay that up, with one check or whatnot, pay that ahead of time. So that extra funds, you can use that, for something else instead of divvying out that $30, right, per month every single time. If you know that you have to take the bus or the train or something like that, you know, it'll be better for you to get some type of a card, like a bus pass for like a month or 60 days or what have you, or a train pass for that amount of time, or maybe if they have one for like a year or something like that. So you just put a down payment right directly on that, and then the rest of those funds that would normally go for that, right, are freed up for you to spend that clearly on something else, right? Then all of that money that you just saved from your transportation, right, and then you just saved from your phone bill, you can now push that towards something else, right? So maybe that's a cable bill, maybe that's your light bill or something like that, right? Or for every single paycheck that you can have like a goldfish bowl, right? Where you pretty much know the amount of money that you're going to need during the week, right? So anytime that you get your check, you'll make a list. And with that list, you will write down the things that you have to spend money on, right? So your gas, it might be 10, 20, 15, whatever it is during the week that you need. So whenever you get that check, you basically look at that list and you start splitting that money, right? So you don't have to worry about, because if you were already managing your money, right? If you were already paying stuff ahead of time, right? You have more money that you can allocate towards other things, therefore alleviating a lot of that stress and that pressure, throughout the weeks, throughout the months. So it's not going to be like, oh man, every single time I get this check, I got to sit up there and divvy out these funds. You don't have to do that because, some of your bills are paid a few months to like a year ahead of time. So it's like a lot of that pressure, a lot of that stress is not going to be so daunting, and it's not going to be so much of a stressful and an emotional, type of venture for you. And then the more and more that you basically do this, the easier and the easier and the easier that it gets. And then the more money that over time you will start to see and have in your bank account. So then once you get to a certain point of time, like let's say 6 months to a year, where you have a lot of these bills, months and months and months and months and months paid ahead of time, you now got breathing room, right? You got breathing room from those bills. So then let's go to the next highest bill. So now you got your rent. So now all of that money that you've paid forward, right? You've allocated for like a few months to a year. Let's say your lights, you got your actual, gas bill, you have your water bill, you have your cell phone bill, you have your cable bill, and any other minor bills that will add up as well. You allocate all of that money that you would normally have to spend on those things. And now on top of the next check that, let's say that you're going to get, during that month or whatnot, in the future, you can now start allocating things towards paying your rent or whatever it is ahead of time. And then once you start, like I said before, once you start getting like the major bill pushed ahead of time, your breathing room is going to be ridiculous. Like the outlook that you're going to have on life is going to be vastly different than what it was, 9 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, or basically when you first started. Like I said, everything in life, in a sense, is about some type of form of structure. In the moment in time that everyday people, us, we start putting and adding that structure directly into our life and managing things a lot better financially, which will then lead to, emotionally, excuse me, being able to manage things properly. Once you have those two things like under control, life is going to get way easier. No matter, how much money that you're basically getting, right? It's going to, in a sense, be easier for you because you have that breathing room. You're not in the same space as everybody else, right? You're not, in a sense, on that same hamster wheel, right? You're off that hamster wheel now, and now you're just pacing down the street while you're looking at everybody else jogging and running because they're trying to rush towards everything because everything has to get done at a certain time. This building for the cable is going to close down at a certain moment. I got to sit up there and pay this phone bill before it goes off, on the third. The rent is due, on the 10th right now, but it's the first. But I still need a little bit more money just so I can fully cover the rent because I only got half of that portion. I got to put this bill up and I gotta, make some moves here and here and here because, I need money for the gas and I need money for the lights, and then the water bill is going to be coming up, at the end. Like I said before, the pace in life that you're going to be moving versus everybody else is going to be vastly different. People just gotta learn, structure. People just gotta learn how to, have things revolving around them versus them revolving around other things, right? Like I said, I hope, it makes sense. I'm just listing the stuff that I go by in life and the things that I perform, um, and do. So, the things that basically work for me, I'll tell other people about it, and hopefully people can find the benefit and those things will end up working for them. But anyways, hopefully you guys are having a great day, a great week, or maybe you guys are catching this later on during the weekend, and that's when you happen to see this video. So no matter what you're doing, hope for a great day, great evening, great morning. Hope for your safety and everything like that. And I hope that you got more money in your pocket than what you left out with. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.